All right. Good evening, everybody. It is 5 o'clock. Welcome to the Land Use and Zoning Committee. It is July 21st at 5 o'clock. So we are going to go ahead with introductions to the left. We're going to let our council president give us some encouraging onsetting words, and then we will hear a presentation from Mr. Hardin, then we'll get going. So with that, we'll do introductions on the left.
All right, Nick Howland, at-large, Group 3, just visiting.
Councilman Reginald Gaffney Jr. I also want to introduce my two interns at the bottom, Jonna and Liz, who joining us tonight.
All right, thank you so much for joining us. Joe Carlucci, District 5.
The prodigal son, Kevin Carrico, District 4 has returned. The universe can exist again.
Randy White, District 12.
Terrence Harvey, Office of General Counsel.
Susan Kelly, Planning Department.
Aaron Abney, Planning Department.
Casey Cox, Planning Department.
All right, thank you, everybody. Mr. President, please.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President and Mr. Chair. And a question for the immediate past Council President. Was it a successful international mission?
Absolutely.
All right, good to hear.
More to come.
More to come. Love hearing it. Thank you. Well, welcome back, everybody, from council break. I hope everyone had a great opportunity to relax and refresh, maybe go to Hawaii, and at least get some time off and time with the family, because we're getting going on another council year, and it'll be a big one. In fact, we all know that the one big issue that probably the Finance Committee themselves will have to tackle early on is relates to the referendum in November on property tax relief. It's looming large on every single county, all 67 right now in the state of Florida, as they start their new years and start looking at their budget approvals, which across the whole state, every county has to have it done by October 1st to implement, September 30th actually, so they can implement by October 1st. That's not your concern on land use and zoning, it's your broader concern on council, but we have formed what I think is one of the strongest land use and zoning committees there ever has been. You guys know your stuff, all of you, and look forward to having a smooth and productive year, and particularly with a steady hand at the helm in Vice President Carlucci. So thank you all for being here, and look forward to serving with you in this next year.
All right, thank you, Council President Howland, and I concur this is a strong land use and zoning group. We're down 2 members tonight, but I do appreciate kind of keeping this core group intact. We work really well together. We do a good job on compromising on a lot of these zonings, and just appreciate you keeping us together. So we'll make you proud. We'll make you proud down here. We'll try to keep council nights easy and not too crazy. So with that, I want to welcome Councilwoman Clark Murray, Councilmember Johnson. Thank you for being here. We will, before we go to, well, go ahead, Mr. Hardin. You can go ahead and give your presentation on the bill, and then we have housekeeping a little bit, and then we'll go into our action items.
I'll go quickly, Mr. Chairman, because I think everybody's heard this, except Councilman Arias, who isn't here.
Is your mic on?
Yeah.
Okay, I can hear you. You're good. You're good.
Okay, there you go. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Paul Hardin, 1431 River Place Boulevard. I have pending before the council Tuesday night, a week from today, a bill that we're going to request an in and out on, that it be introduced next Tuesday night and be voted out that night. For that reason, I've been to every committee this week, the last 2 days, to tell them about the bill in case there are questions that people might have that come up in the next week. It deals with the submerged land lease on the marina, which is in front of the Four Seasons and the office building that are under construction on the North Bank Riverwalk. We're entering into a new submerged land lease because it's expanding about 20,000 square feet. The state is allowing us some additional activities on the site. We have 78 boat slips. There's some small changes, but as a result of it, we're doing an amended land use submerged land lease there at the location. We would like to have it in place in time for the first football game, to use it for some income for the city. As a result, we're asking for the submerged land lease to be approved next Tuesday night. that basically is it. I'm here to answer any questions. Mr. Michaelis and I are available for the next week or so if you have any questions before the council meeting next Tuesday night. Otherwise, we were hopeful it'll be passed out that time. By the way, I think Heather Reber was here at Finance with the council auditor's office. She has subsequently looked at the legislation. She had one change. There was some math that was incorrect on there, and we've amended that. Actually, they pulled the bill that was filed and corrected and then filed a new bill so that change has been made. I don't think there's any questions from any of the other staff members with the city, and the council auditors looked at it and they've solved we've solved the issue they had. Again, with that, I'll be happy to answer any questions.
All right, we do have one council member in the queue. Councilwoman Clark Murray, you're recognized.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Harden. I just have a quick question because I'm trying to, I did see the email, but I didn't open the bill. So what type of bill is it? Zoning? Is it just, I know you mentioned lease.
It's a submerged land lease. The lands that are under the rivers, or the navigable
Right,
rivers
I'm
of the
sorry to
state.
interrupt. I do understand because I've heard the spiel a couple of times, but so what type of bill? Is it zoning? Because I want to know if I need to do my ex parte. That's what I'm concerned about. So
It is
what type
not
of bill?
It is not a zoning bill. It's just an approval of the lease.
Okay, all right. Thank you for that. Thank you, Chair.
All right, yep, we have no one else in the queue. So thank you so much, Mr. Harden. We
Thank
will
you,
be on the
Mr.
lookout for that.
Appreciate it.
All right. As the first committee of the new year, we're going to go ahead and go through a few housekeeping items, and then we will run through the agenda. We're moving a few things around, but otherwise should just be a pretty normal evening. So with the new Michael Boylan bill, as far as excusals go, just want to set the kind of new ground rules, so to speak, and the parameters for that. If you have an excusal, please email it to me, the chair, and CC George Foote, my ECA, no later than 5 p.m. on the prior business day, and these will be granted on first-come, first-served basis. And George, if we can just email this out to everyone in the committee and their ECAs just so they have it in writing and see everything. Again, this is in reference to Michael Boylan's bill. We are not supposed to have any more than one allowable excusal per meeting. And if you send it in and it's late or a non-allowable reason, then it will be counted as an unexcused absence. And then after 3 unexcused absences, you're automatically dismissed from the committee. And keep in mind, quorum is now 5 instead of 4, unless we have excused absences. So with that, I think every committee has pretty much gone over that for the most part. And yeah, so basically just get your excusals in on time and everything should be fine. Council Past President Kiriko, you're recognized.
Thank you. Through the chair, I guess, to OGC. So if someone has to leave for an emergency tonight, we can't leave because we already have 5. Is that the new legal requirement for a quorum?
Here's, and I have not.
It goes down to 4 if it's an allowable excusal, meaning like sickness, family emergency, so on and so forth.
Okay. Are the 2 people that are absent unallowable?
Mr. Diamond is an allowable excusal because he's on military leave, is my understanding, and Mr. Arias has not sent in his excusal, so that is a 1 strike for Mr. Arias.
Okay.
I'll tell him you asked.
So I plan to leave at 7:30, so I'll give you my excusal if that's all right. We'll get it typed up. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So with that, one other housekeeping thing, Mr. Harvey, if you want to go ahead and read just kind of the LUZ/council rules on disturbances, we can get started here. You good? Any questions over here? We'll just, any questions, send it to Mary Stefopoulos, because she's kind of the one who prepped me on it. Otherwise, let's hear the disturbance policy. Sorry, he's still new. You're not on the mic still. Is it dead?
Hello? Okay.
There you go.
Pursuant to
Welcome,
Council
Mr.
Rule 4.505, disruption of the meeting. Any person who disrupts a regular meeting of the City Council, standing committee, special or select committee, subcommittees, or any other public meeting presided over by a City Council member may be forthwith barred, removed, or otherwise ejected in the discretion of the presiding officer from further attendance at that meeting. If necessary, due to the nature of the disruption, the audience may be cleared from the council chambers or meeting location in the discretion of that presiding officer. Any person who refuses to leave the city council chamber may be subject to arrest. Disruption of a meeting includes the following types: any form of political campaigning or electioneering regarding a specific candidate or a group of candidates in the city elections, impeding the orderly progress of the meeting by shouting, yelling, whistling, chanting, singing, dancing, clapping, foot stomping, snapping fingers, cheering, jeering, using artificial noisemakers or musical instruments, waving any signs of any size, or engaging in any other display of excessive noise, sounds, or movement. Displaying or waving signs of any sort except where used to support the speaker's presentation at the podium and only where the sign is 21 inches by 21 inches or smaller in size and cannot be displayed in a manner which unreasonably obstructs the view of the dais for any member of the audience regardless of the message. Audible noises from cell phones or other electronic devices, consumption of alcohol or controlled substances, making vulgar or offensive remarks or gestures, or using threatening language or gestures, refusing to stop to speak when his or her time has expired or is otherwise directed by the presiding officer to do so due to the disruptive behavior as described herein, and finally returning to the meeting after having been removed or ejected or attempting to do so.
All right, thank you, Mr. Harvey. And obviously, we don't get a lot of disturbances, but every now and then we do, so we just kind of like to preface the audience with that. We do take them seriously, but otherwise, pretty much going to be a normal meeting tonight, so there shouldn't be any issues. All right, with that, we are going to go ahead and get started. We do have visiting Councilwoman Clark Murray here, so we are going to go to her items first in her district. So if everyone will go to page 9, we are going to go to item 17, 2026-428. We'll go ahead and open the public hearing and get a staff report.
Thank you. Ordinance 2026-428 is for a small-scale land use amendment to change approximately 3.61 acres from residential professional institutional, which is RPI, and low-density residential, which is LDR, to CGC, Community General Commercial. This change is being requested to allow for the continued use and services associated with the City Rescue Mission. The main site is located at 426 McDuff Avenue South between Nolan Street and Hunt Street. McDuff Avenue South is a minor arterial roadway. The site is in the Lackawanna neighborhood on the west side of McDuff Avenue, which is a commercial corridor designated as CGC land use. LDR land use is the primary designation in the area around the commercial corridor. The site is located within an urbanized, dense part of the city with urban service delivery infrastructure, and it is contiguous with the CGC land use category to the north, east, and south along the McDuff Avenue corridor. For these reasons and those in the staff report, the Planning Department recommends approval. The Planning Commission heard this item at their June 18th meeting and unanimously recommended approval with minimal discussion.
All right, thank you so much. First up, we have Richie Mullaney.
Richie Mullaney with Driver McAfee, 1 Independent Drive, Suite 1200, on behalf of the applicant. It's my honor today to represent the City Rescue Mission, and just to add on to the staff report, I wanted to take just a second to give a little bit of an overview of the City Rescue Mission for those who might not be aware, and to understand what exactly they're trying to do. And so for 80 years, the City Rescue Mission has been transforming lives in Jacksonville, serving the hungry, the homeless, and the addicted through its faith-based programs. This started in 1946 when some businessmen were just handing out cups of soup on the streets of Jacksonville. Today, the City Rescue Mission provides hot meals, transitional housing, emergency shelter care to keep homeless individuals safe and get them back on their feet. They also offer a structured addiction recovery program with an 18-month substance-free living arrangement, and they provide job training, medical care, and spiritual development on top of that. And so, given this expansion of services over the years, and also, unfortunately, the persistent need for those services in our community, the City Rescue Mission put together what they call Vision 2046, looking to their 100-year anniversary. And they built a long-term plan that includes new facilities and increased capacity on their McDuff campus. And so today, that's what we're before you to talk about, and to seek the entitlements to make that Vision 2046 a reality. Both the land use and zoning are a little bit of a mix right now, as referenced in the staff report. Property owned by the City Rescue Mission is currently CGC, RPI, and LDR. This application seeks to unify those parcels within the CGC land use category to continue the uses that City Rescue Mission is already accomplishing, to seek that homeless shelter, residential treatment facility, emergency center care. Paul Stassi is also here, the executive director of the City Rescue Mission. We'll get more into the details of the PUD, of course, with the next application. But with that, I'll stand by for any questions that you might have. Thank you.
All right, and next we have Paul Stassi is in support and asked for questions only. So with that, we have no other speaker cards, so let's close the public hearing and bring it back to committee. All right, there it is. We have a motion and a second on the bill. Councilwoman Clark Murray, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair, and good evening to everyone. So just basically some information for the committee. The representatives, Mr. Mullaney and Mr. Stassi, met with the Neighborhood Association for the Lackawanna community last Thursday, and that would be the North Riverside CDC. And they discussed what they did here, which is basically what they want to do and why the zoning changes are necessary. We, the majority of the people didn't have a question. We had one resident who is not necessarily in opposition, but he just had some concerns. And his concerns had to do with perhaps homeless populations just kind of hanging out on the sidewalk, trash, some other concerns. But the CRM has been an excellent neighbor in this community for, as you said, as they stated, 80 years. And they've brought a program that is not just overnight housing, but they are seeking to, I'll use the term, reform individuals and provide them with not just a place to stay and a hot meal, but trying to get them to refocus their lives and repurpose their lives, and that's what they do. So I just want you to know that they did meet with the community, and they've been a good neighbor for the time. I've been in that community for 29 years myself, and I have not heard of any ill or just negative reports regarding their program, and what they want to do with all of their properties is appropriate. Thank you.
Okay, good. Thank you. Always good to hear from the district council person. With that, we have no one else in the queue, so we can go ahead and open the ballot, record your vote.
Five yeas, 0 nays.
By your action, you've approved 2026-428. Item number 18, 2026-429. Council members, please declare your ex parte communication at this time. Past President Carrico, you're recognized.
Thank you for recognizing the past president in front of the president. You have to get used to that.
Oh.
I am
sorry.
in the queue to declare my ex partes. I had an in-person meeting yesterday with Mr. Mullaney and Ms. Trimmer to discuss all of the details of this rezoning. So we will get that filed and turned into legislative services ASAP.
All right. Councilmember White, you're recognized.
Thank you. I'm going to declare my ex parte. I had a conversation this afternoon with Ms. Trimmer. She gave me all the details, and it will be filed. Thank you.
All right. We have no other ex parte, so I will go ahead and clear mine. I met with Cindy Trimmer and Richie Mullaney in my office on July 20th at 10 a.m., and this paperwork is getting filed with legislative services. With that, let's go ahead and open the public hearing and get the staff report.
Thank you. This is the companion PUD rezoning ordinance 2026-0429, which is seeking to rezone approximately 6.4 acres. It's multiple different parcels and a combination of zoning districts. So they are RLD 60, CRO, CO, and CCG2. So they're taking all of these parcels and all of these zoning districts and putting it under one PUD. The purpose of the PUD is to allow for the expansion of the City Rescue Missions campus. The proposal includes construction of a new dormitory, dining hall. It'll include transitional housing units, a future clinic, and additional facilities in order to support the mission for providing shelter, transitional housing, addiction recovery services, job training, and other programs for individuals and families. The PUD establishes site-specific development standards and permits a mix of uses, which would include the rescue mission, again, residential treatment uses, emergency services, housing, and then other supportive commercial uses. Staff finds that the request is consistent with the comp plan by encouraging infill development and redevelopment of underutilized urban land and innovative site planning through the PUD process. We find the PUD meets the internal and external criteria. Overall, the development is appropriate and compatible with the surrounding uses because it's located along a commercial corridor, and it does transition to existing single-family dwellings to the south and west of the project. However, the department has concerns regarding the proposed transitional housing units, which are on the south side of Hunt Street, and the proposed building height of 4 stories, which would be approximately 50 feet in height. To protect the adjacent single-family residences that are located just west and south of that site from potential impacts related to the building height and scale. The department is forwarding a condition limiting the height of this structure to 35 feet. This parcel existing zoning district is commercial office, which these parcels are limited to 35 feet when adjacent to single-family uses. So therefore, the proposed height limitation would be consistent with development standards that are currently applied to the property today. So for these reasons and those in the staff report, we forward a recommendation of approval with one condition. Again, that condition is related to limiting the height to 35 feet for the transitional housing units that are located just on the south side of Hunt Street. Application was heard by Planning Commission on June 18th, where there were no speakers in opposition. There was little discussion amongst the commissioners. They had no concerns on the proposed height of the transitional units, so they voted unanimously for approval with no conditions. Thank you.
All right. First speaker, Richie Mullaney.
Richie Mullaney with Driver McAfee, 1 Independent Drive, Suite 1200, on behalf of the applicant. As Aaron mentioned in the staff report, this PUD allows for a mix of uses. It includes rescue mission and homeless shelter use, residential treatment facilities, emergency centers, and multifamily residences. But I want to point out that the main intended use here is rescue mission and homeless shelter, which is distinct in our code from multifamily housing and comes with different occupancy density requirements and the like. When looking at the site plan and the actual proposal for the long-term expansion of the mission, there's a few different things going on the City Rescue Missions campus. They have, of course, their chapel, a vocational tech center, a clinic, their office building, but then there's the 3 transitional housing actual developments, the 3 transitional housing buildings. And they come in 3 different types. There's the group units, that's kind of like the dorm style traditional shelter. There's the family units. They'll appear like townhouses. These are for people going through the program with young children who'd like to live in a more family-oriented environment. And then finally, there's the individual units. These are kind of like studio apartments if they were multifamily housing. These are the units that the planning department pointed out is on the south part of the property, and it's proposed to be a 4-story building at 50 feet high. And because of that, the planning department, of course, as they mentioned, has forwarded a recommendation to limit that height to 35 feet. And while the City Rescue Mission understands and respects that recommendation, they wanted to bring it here for your consideration because they really feel that having every floor of this building is important to serve the needs of the community, and they believe that we can fit into the character of the neighborhood without sacrificing beds in this building. The property's in the urban priority development area, and within the CGC land use category surrounding it, and it would have a rear setback of 20 feet and rear landscaping as well to help with buffering. And so, again, while we understand that recommendation to limit that height, the City Rescue Mission does ask for your consideration of keeping that 50 feet height to maintain that 4 stories to be able to house as many people possible while still keeping with the character of the neighborhood. Like I said, this is a long-term plan. This is looking 20 years from now for the long term to serve the community and in the area and the Lackawanna neighborhood and Jacksonville at large. And so, as I mentioned before as well, Paul Stasi is here to answer any questions that you might have too. With that, I'll stand by for questions. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Next, we have Paul Stasi in support, questions only. So with that, we will close the public hearing and bring it back to committee. Mr. Carrico, you're recognized.
Thank you. I just want to do this on the record. I'd like to move the bill, but not the amendment with the conditions. I'm familiar with the City Rescue Mission. I know the neighborhood, the way it's laid out, and I don't think the height would change the structure or character of the neighborhood at all. I think we try to do everything we can to support the homeless and low income in our city, and this is a group that's been doing it for 80 years, so I don't think we should tell them how to serve their community. So I'm moving the bill without any of the amendments or conditions. I'll look for a second.
Okay, we have a motion, a second on the bill, and Ms. Clark Murray. Okay, there you are. Do you want to speak? Go ahead. You're recognized.
Thank you for that. Mr. Stasi or Mr. Mullaney, either one of you can come forward, please, so I can ask a question through the chair. Go ahead. Does he need to give his information again?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Richie Mullaney, 1 Independent Drive, Suite 1200, on behalf of the applicant.
All right, thank you. So through the chair, I know that there's a dormitory style building there now. What is the height of that the current building?
Through the chair, the current building is actually is in a different location on the campus. That appears to be 56 feet high. It's not in the same location as the proposed individual units.
Yes, I'm familiar with the area, so I just want to know the actual height of the building. Okay.
Yes,
so,
the building there now is, it appears, according to the site plan, 56 feet.
Okay. And so the proximity of the proposed building will be how much closer to the residents on Hunt Street?
Through the chair, the proposed building is on the south side of Hunt Street. It's outside that current gated area of their campus.
Right. And so what will be the closest residence? Like what's the distance?
Sure.
Do you have that, or do you know that? I know we're talking about something that doesn't exist and you haven't done any type of planning for that part of it, but just in reference to like the height, so that we don't impede on someone else's property, because privacy, because I think that's part of the concern in regards to the planning department, why the recommendation for 35 feet, because there's a huge difference between 35 feet and 50 feet. The existing building is 56 feet. So once again, I think that's part of the concern that Ms. Abney expressed. But have there been any complaints? That's probably a question for Mr. Stasi.
Sure. Well,
whoever would like to answer it.
Yeah, you can bring him forward.
Sure.
Hey, this is the part where we work things out. So it's a land use and zoning night. So if that's a concern, I just want to make sure that we don't have my thought is I'm considering the proposal made by past President Carrico in regards to removing the condition. But we also want to make sure that, because we don't have any residents here to basically talk about their position, and whether or not that would be the existing height would impede upon their privacy or whatever concerns the planning department has. So that is my concern, because my goal is to, once again, I've stated that CRM has been a good neighbor, but I also have to consider those who live in that community as well.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Okay. Paul Stasi, Executive Director, City Rescue Mission, address on file. So immediately behind this location is a JEA lot and an empty lot, and then a house that's been boarded up. I'm not sure why And then there's a couple other houses down the street. There's a lot of trees, tall trees in the back, so I don't believe it's going to really impede their view of anything because of the trees. And then down the street, because we have almost the entire block, but down on Hunt Street, there are an additional 3 houses too, but that'll be further down the street on the same side.
Okay. Through the chair, so basically what you've explained to me is that the building, if we forego the condition and allow the 50-foot height, that it is not necessarily in the direct line of sight of any of the existing residents or existing properties.
Through the chair, I just to point out, there would be the 20-foot setback at the south end from the end of that building to the single-family property line. And then if you have a satellite image, I have one if you'd like one. There are the rear backyards as well. Not sure you can see that from where you are, but I don't want to commit to out of sight. I'm not sure exactly how it would look, but it's not right up against each other, even though the properties abut. There's that 20-foot setback. There'll be landscaping as well to give a bit of a buffer between the actual rescue mission building and the residents on the abutting property.
Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, thank you, Chair.
Yes, ma'am, no problem. Let's see if we have anyone else in the queue. All right, there is no one in the queue, but there's a motion and a second on the floor to move the bill without the condition. There's no other discussion, so let's open the ballot, record your vote.
Five yeas, 0 nays.
By your action, you've approved 2026-429. All right, next item we're going to go to is on page 12, item number 24, 2026-435. This is also from Ms. Clark Murray. So, council members, please declare your ex parte communication you have at this time. Going once, going twice. Seeing no one, so let's go ahead and open the public hearing and get a staff report.
Thank you. This is PUD rezoning ordinance 2026-0435, seeking to rezone approximately 19 acres from residential medium density A to a PUD. The proposal would allow for the development of up to 320 residential units, consisting of a mix of multifamily apartments on the southern portion of the site and a mix of single-family homes, cottages, or townhomes on the northeastern portion. The PUD provides flexibility through site-specific development standards, including varying lot sizes, setbacks, landscaping, parking, signage, and then providing a mix of recreational amenities. Staff evaluated the request for consistency with the comp plan and found that the proposal to be consistent with the medium-density residential land use designation. The development promotes compact infill development, diversity in housing, innovative site planning, and efficient use of existing urban infrastructure. We find the PUD meets the internal and external criteria and finds the proposal to be compatible with surrounding developments. Similar residential rezonings have been approved in the vicinity, and the mix of housing types reflects the established development pattern along this major roadway. The PUD also includes a minimum 3-acre private preserve, which will include trails and active recreation amenities and pedestrian connections. And this will also act as a natural buffer adjacent to the Edward White High School, which is on the north side of the property. Transportation analysis indicates that Old Middleburg Road has sufficient available capacity to accommodate the anticipated traffic. So for these reasons and those in the staff report, we are forwarding a recommendation of approval. You also have a revised Exhibit 4 site plan that's listed in your agenda. Application was heard by the Planning Commission on June 18th, where there were no speakers in opposition, little discussion, and the commission voted unanimously for approval.
All right. Thank you so much. We have one speaker card, Peter King, questions only. We have Ms. Clark Murray. Do you want to speak during the public hearing for questions or after? Okay, so we'll go ahead and close the public hearing and bring it back to committee. We need a motion on, let's pass the amendment, or let's move the amendment and then. Okay, we'll go ahead and open the public hearing, and we'll recognize Councilwoman Clark Murray.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair. So one thing I will say, Mr. King, is he here? Okay. Well, he's here. Come forward, please. So with this particular bill, I know that, well, let me just ask him first. Good afternoon to you. Go ahead and give your name and information.
Hi, good evening. Peter King, 404 70th Street, representing North Florida Land Trust.
Okay. So once again, good evening to you. Through the chair, do you have an opportunity to go before the Southwest CPAC?
I did not, no.
Okay.
I did not.
All right. Thank you so much for that. And that's my primary question to you. To the body, the CPACs, they do not meet in July, which is a total of like 4 weeks. So that cuts down his opportunity to have met with them to present this information. So I'm going to ask for a one-cycle deferral, and that will give Mr. King an opportunity to go before the Southwest CPAC, because in August they meet on the 10th, and then that'll allow him to come on the 11th. And for am I mixed up? Do I have my dates wrong?
Meets on the 4th. Council.
Okay. So I'm going to ask for 2 cycles, because that way he has an opportunity to meet with the community, because they have not given me, and they being the Southwest CPAC, once again, they don't meet in August. And so they have not had an opportunity to hear his proposal in regards to this change in what he plans, the development. And it's always fair to the community for them to hear what is going to happen in their community. And we know that our current president has an emphasis on making sure that CPACs have a voice.
All right. Well, before we make a decision on that, Councilmember Gaffney Jr. is in the queue, and also we want to hear from the applicant as well. And then he can still meet with the community outside of just the CPAC formal thing if a 2-cycle deferral is too long, because that's like a month. But go ahead, Councilmember Gaffney, you're recognized.
Thank you. Through the chair, Chair President, you took the words right out of my mouth. I wanted to hear from Mr. King. I want to ask for a defer as well, because I want you to speak with the community. But what I wanted to find out, do you have any restrictions, deadlines coming up as well? So, we want to make sure we respect for your time. And I know you've, been in this a long time. So we'll hear from you, Mr. King.
Well, I mean, time is money in the development business, so that'll add 2 cycles, that'll add, how long are we talking about, a month? A month. I think, if the council person wants that, we'll be glad to speak to the CPAC. I think they would like to see what we're going to do. We're very proud of this project. It's got preservation, affordable housing, and ownership. So I think they would like to see it.
All right. Well, in that case, I would request a deferral for, I guess, a month. If I could get a second.
Sorry, we'll have a motion and a second on that. Ms. Abney, you're in the queue. Would you like to add anything to this?
To the chair, I just want to clarify that the planning department did bring this application to the Southwest CPAC at their June 8th meeting. We do try to bring these items as soon as they're paid for and prior to filing, so that the CPACs do have more than just 1 month to be able to see an application. Thank you.
So they did go to CPAC. Is that correct, Mr. King?
If staff
Or the application went to CPAC, rather. Okay, so the CPAC had this application on June 8th, is what you said.
Correct. Staff attends all the CPACs, and we bring these items and present them and are there for any questions that the CPAC has. But this item was presented at the CPAC at their June 8th meeting.
Okay, understood. So we do have Councilmember Carrico in the queue. However, we have a motion and second on the floor. I think we need to, you're on the amendment, or are you on the motion to defer? Okay, Councilmember Carrico, you're recognized.
Thank you for recognizing me on the motion to defer. I'm not going to support that. That's just government getting in the way of what we're trying to accomplish, which is providing better housing and better opportunities for people. You just heard from the department there that this was on the record at the CPAC, so I see no need for a deferral. I think we should move forward, so I'm going to be a no on that, and I request that the introducer withdraw that request.
Do you care to respond, Councilmember Gaffney?
Thank you through the chair to the councilwoman. Let me make sure I got a great understanding of this. So, I mean, I guess the applicant applied maybe like a month ago and went to CPAC. I'm assuming he reached out to your office or y'all talked. Have there been any community meetings? I just want to make sure and y'all say the CPAC is aware of this. And when were they made aware of this application? In June?
June 8th.
Through the chair, yes. So staff sends the agenda usually a week prior to the scheduled CPAC meeting. And so this item was presented to the CPAC on their June 8th meeting.
And through the chair was no objection, so I'm assuming at the CPAC meeting, correct?
I don't believe our department has received any letter of opposition or support, but I mean, that's, not all CPACs will write a letter for every item that comes before them.
All right.
Before I make a decision, I want to hear from the councilwoman one time, and then.
Is there a question?
Yeah. So I guess the question is, I guess a compromise, past President Carrico, a compromise maybe one cycle instead of 2 cycles. I mean, Councilwoman, are you open to that?
Through the chair to Councilmember Gaffney. So first of all, just as a former CPAC member and chair, when Ms. Abney says that it was presented to him, all the CPACs get the zoning, land use and zoning changes bills for their particular, the areas that they cover, multiple districts. So when she said that they presented, I'm not sure how she's defining that. If she's saying that someone actually spoke, because I know there is a gentleman who attends the Southwest CPAC regularly and who does talk about the LUZ. So she's nodding her head. So I'm saying that she's saying that the gentleman who works for the city did speak. However, there is like a kind of a difference in regards to when you have the actual applicant's representative coming or the applicant coming and talking to the CPAC about what it is they're actually going to do. And he has not made any contact with me, my office. I have not. This is my first time recognizing Mr. King, okay, or seeing him. And I know you asked for a 1-cycle deferral, which I'm not sure if that's going to give the CPAC the opportunity because of the calendar to actually, for him to go before the CPAC. Because based on Mr. Harvey's, what he said in regards to the timing, the next time we have city council or this comes before LUZ will be the 4th. They don't meet until the 10th.
All right. You can close with, you still have the floor, Councilmember Gaffney, and then we're going to go to Councilmember Johnson.
Yeah, before I make a decision through the chair, let's hear from the rest of my colleagues, and then I'll circle back to myself.
Okay, Councilmember Johnson, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So through the chair, Councilmember Clark Murray, I was there. I was at the meeting. I was through the whole meeting. It never came up. They never said anything. I went back through to look at the notes, and there was not an approval. It wasn't something that pushed back. There was another issue that they deferred, but this one did not come up at that meeting. Just want to put that on the record.
Thank you for that, Councilmember Johnson. Because once again, I'm sorry, through the chair to the body, I know CPACs, and I know how, even if it did go before them in June, doesn't necessarily mean that that's what they discussed, okay? Because just think about the timing. You said June 8th, so June 8th, for them to have received it, I don't know if June 8th was the first Monday or if it was the second Monday of the month. If it was not, then they always meet the second Monday of the month. So, and they didn't meet in July. So, once again, I'm going to take Councilmember Johnson's word, just thinking about their schedule, that they did not have an opportunity to discuss it. And that's unfair to the community. Remember, it's the community who has to live with the project, not us. Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right. We'll go to Council President Howland, and then we will make a decision on everything. Go ahead.
Thanks. Healthy discussion. I appreciate it. And yes, I did say we need to hear more from the CPACs and the communities in particular. And we have the council district woman expressing her concern that maybe the community hasn't. However, we also heard Mr. King say a 2-cycle deferral time is money, right? And I heard Mr. Gaffney suggest a 1-cycle deferral. So 2 things could happen. One, for sure one possible between now and if this got deferred to, I want to say August 4th would be the next OUZ meeting. Either the community can come out and speak during public comment during council meeting next Tuesday night, or you could have a special community meeting to discuss it if you wanted to. And maybe even a third possibility, CPAC could convene a special meeting if they wanted to talk about it. Or maybe you could gauge if there's enough public comment ahead of Tuesday's meeting to have a special meeting later in the week next Tuesday. So I would suggest, Mr. Gaffney had a good suggestion for the one cycle deferral, and then we're not putting out Mr. King too much, and we're giving the people, the community, the opportunity to speak up if they have concerns. That's my suggestion.
Okay. No, thank you for that, Council President. And Mr. Gaffney, if you wanted to make a new motion, you can, but.
Through the chair, I guess I take back my original motion, and now I'll make a motion to move one cycle.
Yeah. So.
If I could get a second.
And there's not a second on that, but so my concern is this. I mean, we just had the discussion, but we can have a second on it. But my concern is this, having deferrals for CPAC reasons is going to get into a slippery slope, because a lot of these bills on here, they don't have anything with CPACs. So I'm not going to support a deferral just because of a CPAC. We can't run our meetings on their whim and their schedule, because sometimes they meet, sometimes they don't meet, sometimes they take it up, sometimes they don't take it up. We're running a tight ship here. This has been introduced in May. I'm assuming y'all reached out to Ms. Clark Murray's office. I'm getting text messages that her office was contacted. So in my opinion, if the community wants to be involved, that's between the council person and the applicant, not just CPAC alone. We're not going to run this agenda on the whims of a CPAC, whether they take it up or don't take it up. So did y'all reach out to Ms. Clark Murray's office?
We had our lobbyist, Mr. Dino Hicks, reach out to the council person, and we didn't get a response. And I apologize. I used to work for the city about 20 years ago. I should have remembered that and I represented the north side, and I remember us taking the applications to the CPACs, and I understand, and I agree with you. It's a difficult situation to have the CPACs. This has been approved by a planning board. It's been advertised. I haven't been contacted by anybody other than an adjacent property owner who wanted to sell me her property. That was the only response I've gotten from anybody in or outside of the city government.
Okay, understood. So again, my stance is I'm not going to approve a deferral. I'm not going to vote for a deferral. It has a motion and second on the table. It's got planning department approval, planning commission approval. It's gone through a lot of steps, and here we are with no community members here whatsoever. I don't think this is even going to be a controversial item whatsoever, so I don't see the need to hold this up for any amount of time. And right now we stand, it was sent to the CPAC, they took no action. The applicant reached out to Ms. Clark Murray's office, there was no action. So every other bill that falls into that category doesn't get a deferral. So that's where I'm at. But Council President Hallen, I'm happy to hear from you.
Yeah, no, I see all points of this, but Mr. Gaffney's suggested compromise is neat in that it's not delaying the vote for the CPAC meeting, because the CPAC meeting doesn't happen unless it's delayed for 2 cycles. So this is delaying the vote because a district council member came and said there might be some concerns. I'd like to get more community feedback before we vote on it. And a 1 cycle allows that through public comment or a special public meeting. So I think Mr. King, as much as he probably doesn't want to move it, and you don't, and I understand that, sir, at least we're not moving it 2 like we thought we would. We're moving it 1. It's not special accommodation for a CPAC. It's just special accommodation for the council district member who might be expressing some community concern. So I'll vote, and I'll vote in favor of the deferral.
So just in response to that, is Ms. Clark Murray, if that's your commitment, because initially you said you wanted it to go to CPAC, and that was the reason for the deferral, and that's why I'm not going to support it. If you're telling me that you're going to have a community meeting and that's the reason for the deferral, then that totally puts it in a different bucket for me. But I didn't hear you say that. So that's a question to you, Ms. Clark Murray.
Thank you for that, Chair. Through the chair and to the chair, I will organize a community meeting so that Mr. King will have an opportunity to discuss the application and the proposed development with the community.
Okay, excellent. This bill is going to be deferred until 8/4, right? Is that one cycle?
Motion, so that either needs to be dispelled. So you guys, he needs to withdraw, you vote on it.
I just
and you can
deferred
take
that, so what does it matter?
His motion is on the table.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, I withdraw my motion.
There we go. This bill's deferred until 8/4/26. All right. All good, Mr. King? All right.
Thank you.
Do you have Ms. Clark Murray's contact information?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, so committee members, let's go back to the first page. We have a lot of open continues here, so buckle up. So item number 1, 2026-122. Let's open the public hearing. There's no staff report yet. We have 2 speaker cards. Samantha Series is in opposition, does not wish to speak, and Jamie Travis Leonard is in opposition, does not wish to speak. So with that, we'll continue this public hearing until 8/4/26. Item number 2, 2026-123. Let's open the public hearing. 2 speaker cards. Ms. Samantha Series is in opposition, and Check does not wish to speak, and then Jamie Travis Leonard is in opposition, does not wish to speak. And this public hearing will continue until 8/4/26. Item number 3, 2026-124, open the public hearing. 2 speaker cards. Samantha Series is in opposition, does not wish to speak. Jamie Travis Leonard in opposition, does not wish to speak. And this public hearing will be continued until 11/17/26. Item number 4, 2026-125, open the public hearing. 2 speaker cards. Samantha Series in opposition, does not wish to speak. Jamie Travis Leonard, opposition, does not wish to speak. This public hearing is continued until 11/17/26. Item number 5, 2026-126, open the public hearing. 2 speaker cards. Samantha Series is in opposition, does not wish to speak. Jamie Travis Leonard, opposition, does not wish to speak. This public hearing is continued until 8/4/26. Item number 6, 2026-127, open the public hearing. 2 speaker cards. Samantha Series is in opposition, does not wish to speak. Jamie Travis Leonard is in opposition, does not wish to speak. This public hearing is continued until 8/4/26. Item number 7, 2026-372, open the public hearing. No speaker cards. Will continue this public hearing until 8/4/26. Item number 8, 2026-376, open the public hearing. No speaker cards. Will continue this public hearing until 8/4/26. Item number 9, 2026-420, open the public hearing. No speaker cards. Will continue this public hearing until 8/4/26. Item number 10, 2026-421, open the public hearing. No speaker cards. Will continue this public hearing until 8/4/26. Item number 11, 2026-422, open the public hearing, and let's get our staff report.
Ordinance 2026-422 is for a small-scale land use amendment to change approximately 9.31 acres from light industrial to heavy industrial on the west side of Old Kings Road, east of 295 and north of Moncrief Road. Old Kings Road is classified as a minor arterial roadway and a preferred truck route. The property is under common ownership with the parcel abutting the site to the north, which is designated as heavy industrial, and also to the south, which is designated as light industrial. The applicant is seeking to change the land use of the subject site from LI to HI to expand the business from the parcel that's to the north onto the subject parcel. The proposed amendment from LI to HI is a logical extension of the HI land use north of the site, and it would maintain the industrial character of the area. The site is also located within the industrial situational compatibility area. These areas are presumed to be appropriate for land use map amendments to industrial categories. For these reasons and those in the staff report, the Planning Department recommends approval. The Planning Commission heard this item at its meeting on June 18th. There was one person that spoke in opposition. They expressed some current concerns related to truck traffic, lighting, and noise. The Planning Commission ultimately recommended approval with minimal discussion.
All right, thank you. We have 3 speaker cards. Samantha Series, opposition, does not wish to speak. Jamie Travis Leonard, opposition, does not wish to speak. and Randy Baker is in support and does not wish to speak. So with that, we have no one in the queue, so let's go ahead and close the public hearing and bring back to committee. We have a motion and a second on the bill. No one in the queue, so let's open the ballot, record your vote.
5 yeas, 0 nays.
By your action, you've approved 2026-422. Item number 12, 2026-423. Council members, please declare your ex parte communication at this time. Seeing none, let's open the public hearing and get staff report.
Thank you. This is the companion conventional rezoning ordinance 2026-0423, which is seeking to rezone approximately 9.31 acres for a property located along Old Kings Road from industrial light to industrial heavy. The property is currently vacant, industrial land, and is located west of Old Kings Road and east of I-295. The applicant owns and operates an industrial business on the property immediately to the north, and seeks to expand the operation onto this parcel. Staff reviewed the request, finds it's consistent with the comp plan. The site is located within industrial situational compatibility zone, which is an area specifically identified for industrial preservation and expansion due to its access to major transportation facilities and truck routes. The proposed industrial heavy designation supports existing industrial activities in the area and then furthers the comp plan policies by promoting the viability of industrial areas of the city. We find the requested rezoning to be compatible with surrounding development patterns, and again, adjacent properties to the north and west are already designated heavy industrial and utilized for open storage and industrial activity. So for these reasons and those in the staff report, we forward a recommendation of approval. Application was heard by Planning Commission on June 18th, where there were no speakers in opposition and little discussion, and they voted unanimously for approval.
All right. Same 3 speaker cards. Samantha Series is in opposition, does not wish to speak. Jamie Travis Leonard, opposition, does not wish to speak. Randy Baker, supports and questions only. With that, we have no speakers in the queue. So where are we at on 12? Okay, let's go ahead and close that public hearing and we'll bring it back to committee. Motion and a second on the bill. No one in the queue. Open the ballot, record your vote.
5 yeas, 0 nays.
By your action, you've approved 2026-423. Item number 13, 2026-424. Let's open the public hearing and get our staff report.
Ordinance 2026-424 is for a small-scale land use amendment to change approximately 4.42 acres at 5710 Pickettville Road from low-density residential, LDR, to light industrial, LI, to develop light industrial uses. The subject site is located south of the intersection of Pickettville Road and Old Kings Road. Pickettville is classified as a collector roadway, and Old Kings Road is classified as a minor arterial. The area is a mix of residential, industrial, and commercial uses. There's a large industrial node located approximately half a mile north of the subject site at the intersection of Pritchard and Old Kings Road. Less than 1 mile west of the property is I-295, and there's an active railway located approximately half a mile to the east of the site. The proposed land use amendment to LI would activate the intersection of Pickettville and Old Kings Road with an industrial designation, improving the potential for economic benefit and enhancing the existing mix of uses in the area. Also, the proposed amendment would accommodate future growth through infill development of a lot within an area already served by existing infrastructure, utilities, and public facilities. For these reasons and those in the staff report, the Planning Department recommends approval. The Planning Commission heard this item on June 18th. No residents spoke on this item. Planning Commission voted to approve unanimously with no discussion.
All right, thank you so much. We have we have 3 speaker cards. First up, Mr. Curtis Hart.
Curtis Hart, 8051 Terrell Lane. Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, this is a small 4.42 acre parcel. It's a former fire station, probably, from looking at the building, it's probably pre-consolidation a fire station. And it's a cleared site with minimal trees. We are asking to change it to IL. It's across the street from a Minute Mart, catty-cornered to an industrial light parcel. Appreciate your support. Have any questions, be glad to answer them.
All right, thank you so much. We'll go through the rest of these cards and stand by for questions. We have Samantha Series is in opposition, does not wish to speak, and Jamie Travis Leonard is in opposition, does not wish to speak. And we have no one in the queue, so let's close the public hearing and bring it back to committee. Motion and second on the bill. No discussion. Open the ballot. Record your vote.
Five yeas, 0 nays.
By your action, you've approved 2026-424. Item number 14, 2026-425. Council members, please declare your ex parte communication at this time. Going once, going twice. Seeing none, let's open the public hearing and get a staff report.
Thank you. This is the companion PUD rezoning application ordinance 2026-0425, seeking to rezone approximately 4.42 acres for a property along Picketville Road from RLD 60 to a PUD. The proposed PUD would allow for the development of an outdoor storage yard for automobiles, buses, trucks, and boats, along with other limited industrial uses. The PUD is designed to provide a site-specific development standards and restrict certain uses otherwise permitted in the industrial light zoning district. Staff finds that the request to be consistent with the comp plan by supporting goals related to infill development, redevelopment of underutilized property, and the continued viability of industrial areas. The site is located within an established industrial corridor near the intersection of Picketville Road and Old Kings Road, where industrial and outdoor storage uses already exist, including an adjacent PUD to the south with similar operations, and then also outside storage on the north side of Old Kings Road. We find the PUD meets the internal and external criteria in order to mitigate potential impacts to nearby residential properties. The PUD does include landscape buffers along the south and west property lines. Staff is recommending additional visual screening through compliance with outdoor storage screening requirements of the zoning code. Traffic impacts are expected to be minimal. Picketville Road is currently only operating at 7% capacity. So for these reasons and those in the staff report, we forward a recommendation of approval with 2 conditions. First condition is the visual screening requirements, and the second condition is just related to a traffic study. Application was heard at Planning Commission on June 18th, where there were no speakers in opposition and little discussion, and the commission voted unanimously for those same 2 conditions. Thank you.
All right, thank you. First up, we have Curtis Hart.
Curtis Hart, 8051 Terra Lane. Mr. Chairman, we have finished a PUD in which we were required to do some buffers. It's lessen the impact of the neighborhood. There are some single-family houses still left in the neighborhood, so we're doing a nice buffer. We've already screened it fence-wise, and we eliminated some of the offensive uses, such as aggregate storage, concrete plant. There's several uses in IL that we eliminated, so we would not put it on this site. Any question, be glad to answer.
All right. Next up, Samantha Series is in opposition and does not wish to speak. Jamie Travis Leonard is in opposition and Check does not wish to speak. So with that, we have no other speaker cards, so we'll close the public hearing and bring it back to committee. All right, we have a motion and a second on the conditions. Can someone please explain the conditions?
Yes, so the conditions are, 1, visual screening of the outside storage shall be developed following the requirements of section 656.415 of the zoning code. And number 2, unless waived by the chief of traffic engineering or their designee, a traffic study shall be undertaken by the developer upon PUD verification and provided during the 10-set review. The methodology of the study shall be determined by the developer's traffic engineer, the chief of the transportation planning, and the chief of traffic engineering.
All right. No one in the queue for questions, so all in favor of the amendment signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The amendment carries. We have a motion and a second on the bill as amended with the conditions. No one in the queue. Let's open the ballot. Record your vote.
5 yeas, 0 nays.
By your action, you've approved 2026-425. All right. Item number 15, 2026-426. Open the public hearing. Get the staff report.
Ordinance 2026-426 is for a small-scale land use amendment to change approximately 4.57 acres at 2505 Imison Road from residential professional institutional, RPI, to light industrial, LI. The subject site is a portion of a 44-acre parcel that is located within the southeast quadrant of Pritchard Road and Imison Road. Pritchard is classified as a minor arterial, and Imison is classified as a collector roadway. This request to LI would unify the parcel under a common land use designation. The subject site is located across Pritchard Road from approximately 1,200 acres, designated as heavy industrial. Much of this property is owned by CSX. The HI designation abuts the subject site to the east and consists of an active railway. Northwest of the site, across the intersection of Pritchard and Imison, is another large tract of land, approximately 875 acres, that is designated LI and is part of the West Side Industrial Park DRI. LI also abuts the parcel to the south and the west. The site has access to roadways classified as collectors or higher. It abuts an active railway and is approximately half a mile west of I-295. The surrounding development pattern is predominantly industrial, including warehouse distribution and transportation-related uses. For these reasons and those in the staff report, the department recommends approval. Planning Commission heard this item at its meeting on June 18th. They unanimously recommended approval with no discussion. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. We have one speaker card, Brenda Ezel, and she is in support and marked does not wish to speak. So with that, we have no other speaker cards, so we'll close the public hearing and bring back to committee. We have a motion and a second on the bill. Just want to make sure, is the applicant here, or was Ms. Brenda the applicant? She was the applicant? Okay, all right, just making sure it's listed as Timothy Atkinson on here. So with that, oh, yes, ma'am, are you Ms. Brenda?
Yes, I'm Brenda Ezel, and I'm here on behalf of the applicant. My address is 12276 San Jose Boulevard, Suite 126.
Okay.
Here for questions.
Okay, great. Just wanted to make sure the name didn't match on my book, so we appreciate you being here. All right, we have no one in the queue, and we got a motion in a second. All right, so let's go ahead and open the ballot, record your vote.
Five yeas, 0 nays.
By your action, you've approved 2026-426. Item number 16, 2026-427. Council members, please declare ex parte communication at this time. Seeing none, let's open the public hearing and get a staff report.
Thank you. 2026-427 is the companion rezoning, which seeks to rezone approximately 7.49 acres from two existing PUDs, 2005-541 and 2009-135, to industrial light. The property is located at 2505 Imison Road at the southeast corner of Pritchard Road and Imison Road, and is part of a larger tract that was rezoned through a series of PUDs beginning in 2005 to allow for mixed-use commercial, residential, recreational, and industrial development. Despite these approvals, this portion has remained vacant. The applicant seeks to return the property to its historical IL zoning designation to facilitate future industrial development consistent with the surrounding properties. Staff evaluated the request for consistency with the 2045 comprehensive plan and found the rezoning supports goals promoting infill development, redevelopment of underutilized land, and economic growth of industrial land. We find the requested rezoning to be compatible with the surrounding developments, which include industrial uses such as rail facilities, outdoor storage, warehousing, and distribution operations. The property is located within the Kings Hotel Crossing Community Redevelopment Area, and the CRA Advisory Board voted unanimously to recommend approval, citing the potential to attract investment, create jobs, and support redevelopment efforts in the area. For these reasons and those in the staff report, we forward recommendation of approval. This item was heard at the June 26th Planning Commission meeting. There were no speakers in opposition, and the Commission voted unanimously for approval.
All right, thank you so much. We have Brenda Ezel, and she's in support for questions only. So with that, we have no other speaker cards and no one in the queue, so let's close the public hearing and bring back committee. Motion and a second on the bill. No discussion. Open the ballot, record your votes.
5 yeas, 0 nays.
By your action, you've approved 2026-427. Item number 17, we have already taken up, 2026-428. And item 18, 2026-429, has already been taken up. So that goes to item number 19, 2026-430. Open the public hearing. No speaker cards. We'll continue this public hearing until 8/4/26. Item number 20, 2026-431. No speaker cards. We'll continue this public hearing until 8/4/26. Item number 21, 2026-432. Let's open the public hearing and get our staff report.
Thank you. Ordinance 2026-432 is for a small-scale land use amendment to change 2.28 acres from low-density residential, LDR, to BP and LI, Business Park and Light Industrial. The site is located at 6670 Barth Road, between Moncrief Dinsmore Road to the west and New Kings Road to the east. New Kings Road is an FDOT principal arterial roadway. Moncrief, Dinsmore, and Barth are local roadways. The applicant is proposing to change the land use on the north side of the property, which fronts Barth Road, to Business Park. This is about 0.63 of an acre, and they would be putting an office on that portion. And they're looking to change the land use on the south side of the property to light industrial. That's about 1.65 acres. The change is being sought to expand the abutting business. So the abutting business sells commercial trucks and trailers, so that would be on the LI portion. And again, that BP portion would be an office. The site is adjacent to land designated CGC, commercial, across Barth Road, and LDR designations abut the site to the west and south. Abutting the subject site to the east is land designated light industrial. The proposed land use amendment would offer a logical expansion of the existing LI uses east of the property and is compatible with the industrial uses along New Kings Road. The BP designation, which fronts Barth Road, offers a transition between the commercial and industrial uses along New Kings and the residential uses to the west of the property. So for these reasons and those in the staff report, the Planning Department recommends approval. Planning Commission heard this item at their June 18th meeting and unanimously recommended approval with minimal discussion. Thank you.
All right, we have 2 speaker cards. First up, Ms. Kristen Reed.
Good evening. Thank you. Kristen Reed. My address is 12740 Grand Bay Parkway West, Suite 2350, Jacksonville, Florida 32258. And thank you, and staff did an excellent job presenting this. The land use amendment is designed to allow for expansion of the abutting business to the east. We did coordinate with staff prior to filing the application, and that is the reason we did the business park on the northern portion of the site and light industrial on the southern portion. The BP business park designation covers approximately the first 120 feet of the property. It creates that transition of intensities along Barth Road so that we can maintain more of the residential character and create that transition that doesn't currently exist. When we get to the companion rezoning, there are a series of site design standards and mitigation measures that also further that transition and create a compatible land use pattern. Thank you.
All right, next speaker card, Jamie Travis Leonard is in support and marked does not wish to speak. So with that, we have no one in the queue. Let's close the public hearing and bring it back to committee. Motion and second on the bill. No discussion. Let's open the ballot. Record your vote.
Five yeas, 0 nays.
By your action, you've approved 2026-432. Item number 22, 2026-433. Council members, please declare your ex parte communication at this time. Councilmember Gaffney, you're recognized.
Yeah, thank you through the chair. I rise to declare ex parte. I met with Ms. Kristen Reed and the owner of this parcel in my office a month ago. We just went over the site plan. We went over the height, the ingress, the egress, the whole entire area. If I have any, I make sure everything gets filed with legislative services. All right, thank you.
All right, we have no other ex parte in the queue, so we'll go ahead and open the public hearing and get a staff report.
Thank you. This is the companion PUD 2026-433, which seeks to rezone approximately 2.28 acres from RR acre to a planned unit development. The applicant operates a commercial truck and trailer sales business on the adjacent property at 6650 Barth Road and is seeking to expand operations onto the subject site. The proposal would convert the existing single-family residence into an office while utilizing the rear portion of the property for storage of commercial trucks and tractor trailers. The PUD includes site-specific development standards intended to minimize impacts on neighboring residential properties. Staff finds the request to be consistent with the comp plan by encouraging economic development, the viability of existing industrial and commercial areas, and the gradual transition of land use intensities. The proposed BP designation on the front portion of the site and LI designation on the rear portion create a transition between surrounding residential uses and the existing industrial operations to the east. We find the PUD meets the internal and external criteria by incorporating several measures to enhance compatibility, including a 20-foot buffer along the western property line, additional landscaping, a 6-foot opaque fence around parking and storage areas, and limiting access to the site through the existing business rather than directly from Barth Road. For these reasons and those in the staff report, we forward a recommendation of approval with one condition in the agenda. This item was heard at the June 18th Planning Commission meeting. There were no speakers in opposition, and the commission voted unanimously for approval.
All right, thank you so much. We have 2 speaker cards. First up, Kristen Reed.
Yes, Kristen Reed, 12740 Grand Bay Parkway West, Suite 2350, Jacksonville, Florida, 32258. Again, staff did a great job. The PUD, along with the companion land use amendment, create that transition of intensities from the commercial industrial uses on the east side of the site that front on New Kings Road to the residential along Barth Road. The PUD requires that access to the site be limited to cross-access through the abutting business, so there will be no additional or furtherance of commercial traffic down Barth Road. The existing home is going to be converted to the office. There will be a fence between the existing single family and the side property lines, and all parking will have to be behind that, as well as the additional buffers and limitations on uses. With that, I appreciate your review and consideration.
All right, thank you. Next, we have Jamie Travis Leonard is in support. Does wish to speak.
Good evening, City Council. My name is Jamie Travis Leonard. My address is on file. As you've heard, I don't support a whole lot today, but I do support this. And part of the reason I do support 26433 is because it seems to be not only comprehensive, but really takes the community into account. So I looked at the mapping they did, and it seemed that the applicant as well as the owner really went out of their way to ensure as little disruption as possible to the surrounding community, not just today, but in the future as well. So I'm going to assume you're going to pass it. It's been 5-0 most of the night, but I really just wanted to speak to put out there that when we come up and oppose, it's because we don't think you're serving the community. So when you do serve the community, we are happy to come up and support. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And next, we don't have any other speaker cards, so we can close the public hearing and bring it back to committee. We're looking for a motion on the First Amendment for the revised Exhibit 4. Second. Can you explain the amendment? The revised Exhibit 4?
I cannot.
The revised Exhibit 4, did everyone get that?
Through the chair, Kristen Reed again. I don't have a revised exhibit. The Planning Department and Planning Commission voted on one condition about a traffic study, and we're in agreement with that if that's the will of the committee.
You didn't get the revised site plan on Exhibit 4?
I did not get the revised.
Okay, she's good. She's an ace.
I've been here for.
She's an ace.
I've seen you haze all kinds of people.
I know. We had to try. We had to try a new one on you. All right, there's no motion on that. There's a motion and a second on the condition, which is item number 1. Mr. Harvey, can you please explain the condition?
Sure. So the condition is unless waived by the Chief of Traffic Engineering or their designee, a traffic study shall be undertaken by the developer upon PUD verification and provided during the 10-set review.
All right, any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the amendment signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The amendment carries. Need a motion on the bill as amended. No, boom, boom. There we go. Motion is second on the bill as amended. No one in the queue. Open the ballot. Record your vote.
5 yeas, 0 nays.
By your action, you've approved 2026-433. All right, takes us to item 23, 2026-434. Open the public hearing, no speaker cards. We'll continue this public hearing until 8/4/26. Item number 24 has already been taken up. Item 25, 2026-436, open the public hearing. We have 2 speaker cards. Samantha Series is in opposition, does not wish to speak. Jamie Travis Leonard is in opposition, does not wish to speak. And this public hearing is going to continue until 8/18/26. Item number 26, 2026-437. Council members, please declare your ex parte communication at this time. Anybody? Past President Carrico, you're recognized.
Thank you. I have ex parte on this bill. I received a phone call from the applicant, Andre Green, on Friday, in which he asked if I had any advice for him moving this forward. I said I did not. He asked if I needed any information, and I said I could see it all in the packet, and that was my conversation with Mr. Green.
Councilman Johnson, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I rise to declare ex parte. I reached out to Mr. Green earlier today. I had some questions which were answered. It's been filed with Legislative Services. Thank you.
Councilman Gaffney, you're recognized.
Thank you through the chair. Thank you through the chair. I also met with Mr. Green, I think last week in my office. He also asked me, did I have any questions in regards to this application. I make sure everything get filed with Legislative Services.
All right, thank you so much. We have no other ex parte in the queue, so let's go ahead and open the public hearing and get a staff report.
Thank you. Thank you. This is PUD rezoning ordinance 2026-0437, seeking to rezone approximately 7.14 acres from a PUD to a new PUD. The request is to amend an existing PUD to add commercial uses, which would include a hotel, out parcels for retail sales uses and restaurant uses, and then other related site improvements. The proposal does retain the previously improved entitlements for multifamily residential units. It's just adding commercial uses to the already approved PUD. Staff evaluated the request for consistency with the comp plan and found the proposal to be consistent with the existing CGC land use designation and also the site's existing future land use site-specific policy 4.4.36. The mixed-use development promotes infill redevelopment within the urban development area by utilizing existing infrastructure while providing complementary mix of residential and commercial uses. We find the PUD meets the internal and external criteria and find the proposal to be compatible with surrounding developments, which include multifamily residential communities, commercial shopping centers, offices, couple of churches, and single family dwellings. The commercial infill development is appropriate for this commercial corridor. So for these reasons and those in the staff report, we forward a recommendation of approval with 2 conditions listed in your agenda, and those 2 conditions are traffic related. Application was heard by the Planning Commission on June 18th, where there were no speakers in opposition and little discussion, and they voted unanimously for approval.
All right, thank you so much. We have 4 speaker cards. First up, Andre Green.
Andre Green, Corner Lot Development, address 1000 Riverside Avenue, Suite 600, Jacksonville, Florida 32204. Through the chair, thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you to staff for your professionalism and responsiveness to this PUD application. This PUD allows commercial uses in an active commercial corridor. It complements our already allowed multifamily uses that are there. We're just meeting the growing demand for commercial in this area. And again, we appreciate staff. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Next we have Louis Joseph.
Good evening. Louis Joseph, 1421 Gay Avenue, Jacksonville, Florida 32207. Good evening to all. First off, thank you for everything that y'all do for the city and making our city a wonderful place. We appreciate it. The problems that, or the issues that I have with this is solely the ingress and the egress on Atlantic Boulevard. So I've lived and worked in this area for 30 years. Just in the past couple of years, I've seen a strong traffic growth on that corridor there. We're in between two great high schools right there. Just the traffic has really picked up here just in the past couple of years. And I see that the ingress and the egress is limited to Atlantic Boulevard only. And that just seems like a lot with what's going on there, a hotel and some out parcels. Then I look at the turns, that the patrons would have to do if they were going towards San Marco. They would have to go maybe all the way up to somewhere near Empire Point to turn around to come back, or they would have to cross over 3 lanes of traffic to make a U-turn at the light at Art Museum to turn around to go back towards San Marco. And then if they were coming back into their hotel room, they would have to pass the hotel and then make a U-turn. And it just seems off to me. So for that reason, I don't approve. Thank you for your time.
All right, yes, sir, thank you. Next, we have Michael Milton.
Good evening. Again, Michael Milton. I live at 4833 River Basin Drive South, 32207 in the Empire Point neighborhood. And I work at 3127 Atlantic Boulevard, right across the street from Mr. Joseph's establishment. I'm here opposing this amendment, these changes, primarily because there are no changes. It's just a blank check is what they are looking for. Originally, a couple years ago, it was going to be a 5-6-story apartment building. They were going to have 1,900 cars come in and out. Now they want to go full commercial with literally everything under the sun, under the ordinances, is they're asking for. They've proposed some drawings with a 280-room hotel and a bank and some other out parcels. And I spoke to Mr. Green, very gracious man, gave me his time the other day, and he candidly admits they're not sure what they want to do with this property. And I don't think it's an appropriate role for this commission, this committee, this council, to give a blank check to undecided plans. When you are abdicating any control over what can or can't go on a parcel, I don't think that is an appropriate response from this council. I've lived in Jacksonville my entire life. I've talked to my neighbors in Empire Point. Nobody is happy about the idea of how this traffic is going to work. I realize that's not this council's job, but it is a concern. There are a lot of concerns about, allowing alcohol to be sold, purchased, consumed, dance clubs, all allowed under the ordinances that the applicant has requested. So I think the best course of action is to send this back, have them work out what they actually want to do, let the community have a voice into what they plan, so we're not just grasping at straws, trying to grab smoke. I'm happy to answer any questions, but those are my views. Appreciate your time.
All right, thank you so much. Next, we have Steve Matchett.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Steve Matchett, address is on file. The existing PUD was approved by this LUZ committee back in 2022. Most of you have seen this item before, as you served on there. And you may remember it best as the old Beach Road Chicken Dinners site. It was a PUD request with a companion land use amendment. The PUD was for a 286-unit apartment complex, but the land use was for community general commercial. And the reason for that was to get extended building heights and also with 2 specific amendments allow residential on the ground floor. That maximized the unit build-out. The land use and the PUD rezoning applications were very specific in their intent. It allowed 4 acres for the units, 3 acres for active recreation, open space, and ponds. 3/4 of this site is heavily treed with massive oaks. And perhaps the greatest concern was access to Atlantic Boulevard. 9 parcels were assembled to put this property together. None of them have access to Art Museum Drive. That means that all the ingress, egress from this property is directly into the 3 eastbound lanes of Atlantic Boulevard. FDOT later issued a driveway permit that required right in, right out, and center median realignments to accommodate the U-turns. 1,900 trips were proposed at that time. The first paragraph of this new PUD's written description states, this PUD is being sought to provide a redevelopment of the property with multifamily uses. However, this current application seeks to replace the multifamily uses with commercial general uses and allocates 100% of those same 7 acres to commercial uses, with maximum coverage of buildings and structures to be determined. And not just some commercial uses. It's every use under CCG1, every permissible use by exception, certain uses under CCG2, and the waiver of all alcohol distance requirements. Put all those together with no further review. And mind you, the planning department points out there are 7 churches in this area. The traffic has been mentioned before. This new plan generates 10,459 trips. That's 5 times the apartment situation that was of great concern 4 years ago. This PU application is vague and it's sloppy, and it reflects nothing more than a request to let them build what they want, anytime they want, and however they want. It should be deferred and reworked through conversations with the applicant, the planning department, and the CPAC. And I can give you details on how that was discussed, developing specificity to proposed uses and mitigation for the impacts. Let's put plan back in planning unit development.
Thank you, Mr. Matchett.
I got 2 seconds.
Sorry, the buzzer went off on you. So we typically allow the applicant to have a rebuttal. So what is the normal time for the rebuttal on that? 2 or 3 minutes? Oh, from the initial? Oh, for the applicant? Okay. Would you like to have any rebuttal, Mr. Green?
I do appreciate the speaker's concerns, but any submittal that we have is subject to a traffic study, and we have engaged FDOT, so in regards to traffic, it will be thoroughly vetted by FDOT when it's determined what use is going to be there. We've had commercial interest in this area. We've had a gas station interested. We've had a couple medical users interested. But the main reason for this is to maintain the flexibility to have commercial uses in a CGC land use already. Thank you.
Gotcha. All right. So what I'd like to do is I'm going to table this for now real quick, and I'm going to go to the green room with the applicant and the 3 gentlemen that are here, being this is my district, and I want to get a little bit better handle on this. Traffic isn't necessarily a concern for me. I do hear and appreciate the thoughts, but I need to dive into that a little deeper. Are we good on quorum since there's one approved excusal? It goes down to 4? Okay. All right, cool. So I'll ask Past President Carrico to take over for the rest of the bills, and we'll table this one, and hopefully we can get something worked out in the green room. What's up? Yeah, sure. Yeah, if anyone has any questions before we go, that's totally permissible.
Before you go, if we could, and I think this goes to
sure.
Mr. Harvey, what is permissible right now? I looked at the PUD. Could you just state on the record what's permissible by right now? Or Ms. Abney? Thanks.
Through the chair to the Councilmember Johnson. So right now, under the existing PUD, what is allowed is apartments, so multifamily residential. So they are seeking the rezoning to add the commercial uses because you can't do that unless you go through a completely new rezoning.
Okay, yeah, no, that was a great question, and I guess I wouldn't have Ms. Abney back there with me to ask. So, Past President Carrico, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you for taking the time to go back and kind of work this out in the green room with everyone that's concerned. So I'll give you the respect to do that instead of just having this whole conversation here, so you can work with the applicant and your constituents. But I was just going to ask Mr. Green to just kind of lay out really what they wanted to do, but those were the concerns. But I think you guys can take care of that. And I was also confused as to why you didn't have ex parte with Mr. Green, that he didn't reach out personally to the district councilman. I think he probably would have been in better shape if he did. So, Mr. Green, think about that next time you come down here. So I'll let you do your thing back there, and happy to take over and lead us through the meeting.
Okay, yep, so we're going to go ahead and table 2026-437 until later in the agenda, and that will take us to item 27.
All right. We are on item 27, 2026-0438. If you have any ex parte, now would be the time to get it on the record. Councilmember Gaffney, you recognize?
Yes, thank you through the chair. I met with Ms. Cindy Turner in my office, I think a couple of weeks ago. I'll make sure I get the dates. We just talked about the whole entire project. I'll make sure everything get filed with legislative services.
All right. I also have ex parte. I met with Ms. Trimmer in my office yesterday, and she just described what was happening up here on Main Street and wanted to know if I had any further questions. I did not, but I was able to review the application and get educated on what we are voting on here today. I'll also call on Dr. Johnson for his ex parte, and we'll get that filed with legislative services, of course.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I also want to rise to declare ex parte. I was supposed to meet with Ms. Trimmer today, but first day in finance, got a little busy. But her office sent over everything via email. I reviewed it, and that is being filed currently with legislative services. Thank you for making sure I had all the details. I did read through it. Appreciate it.
All right, Past President White.
Yes, sir. I'd like to declare my ex parte. I spoke with Ms. Trimmer today. It will be filed.
All right, all that's on the record, so we'll open the public hearing and get a staff report.
Thank you. This is the PUD rezoning ordinance 2026-0438, seeking to rezone approximately 23 acres located on the south side of Kirk Road and is just east of Main Street North. They are rezoning from RLD 120 to a PUD. This proposed PUD rezoning would allow for the development of a single-family residential subdivision containing up to 150 homes. It will be a mix of 40 and 50-foot wide lots. The PUD provides site-specific development standards while maintaining a low-density residential character consistent with the surrounding area. Staff evaluated the request for consistency with the comp plan and found the proposal to be consistent with the existing low-density residential land use designation and consistent with the objectives and policies of the comp plan. We find the PUD meets the internal and external criteria and find the proposal to be compatible with surrounding developments. The subdivision directly north on Kirk Road was approved in 2021 and has similar lot sizes of 40 and 50-foot wide lots. So this is just an expansion of that development pattern on the south side of Kirk Road. So for these reasons and those listed in the staff report, we forward a recommendation of approval. This application was heard by Planning Commission on June 18th, where there were no speakers in opposition and little discussion, and they voted unanimously for approval.
All right, thank you for that report. Let's go through our speaker cards. First, we have Cindy Trimmer. You're recognized, Ms. Trimmer.
Thank you so much. Cindy Trimmer, 1 Independent Drive, Suite 1200, on behalf of the applicant. Welcome home, Councilman Carrico. Good to have you back on LUZ. This is a subdivision. We are north of River City Marketplace on Main Street. The main corridor of Main Street that we are just off of has intense CCG2 commercial uses, and immediately abutting this assemblage, there are 2 PUDs, one allowing for a gas station, one allowing for used auto sales. Immediately north of this is a multifamily complex I entitled a handful of years ago with a group out of Canada that is doing a multifamily project So the subdivision that you have proposed here will be a perfect transition between that more intense commercial on Main Street, the multifamily in the area, and as you heard from Aaron, we've just matched the plan of development for the subdivision north of us with the 40s and 50-foot lots. I am available for questions and will stand by.
All righty, our next speaker will be, looks like Earl Allen. Mr. Allen, and then after Mr. Allen, Jamie Travis Leonard is opposing the legislation. Oh, sorry, you do wish to speak, don't you? Okay, we'll wait for you.
I'm new at this. My name is Earl Allen. I reside at 107 Second Dinner Road, 32218. I own the property at 222 Kurt Road. I was born at 280 Kurt Road. I've lived in that neighborhood my whole life. My wife lived at 222 Kurt Road most of her life. And the reason I'm here, Kurt Road has really went down. That neighborhood was called Pleasant Park, and we were raised up around there. We never locked our doors. We had a farm, and it was a real pleasant neighborhood. But for some reason, in the last 20 years, this neighborhood has really went down. The older people has died off and gone. They used to keep their yards up, kept their homes up. Everything was a really nice neighborhood, but for some reason, it has really went down, and it needs some improvements and bring back Pleasant Park again and make it a pleasant place to live. And that's all I got to say.
All right, sir. Well, thank you so
Good
much.
enough?
Thank you. Thank you for coming down. Our next speaker is going to be Jamie Travis Leonard, followed by Samantha Series, who does not wish to speak, who opposes.
Good evening, City Council. My name is Jamie Travis Leonard. My address is on file. I partially oppose. I wish there was a maybe option on the card. I don't oppose the sale and development. I mainly oppose the density increasing to potentially 150 units. Seems really intense for that area. It is less than a mile from the intersection of Main Street and Pecan Park Road, which currently has issues with their roadway infrastructure. And there are also drainage issues in that area as well right now. So my concern is by increasing the density this much in one go, you're adding additional delays into the roadway, specifically at that intersection. And I will say that I'm at that intersection at least once a month. My husband is there 3 times a month because he has to take our daughter to piano lessons, which is right around in that area. And sometimes, especially right there at Main Street and Pecan Park Road, you're sitting in traffic for 10, 15 minutes just to make a turn. And there's a railway right there, and the infrastructure is not great. Now, there was a amendment passed by City Council to refurbish that area and I believe extend the roadway. It hasn't gone underway yet, but I'm also concerned about that impacting new residents' ability to traverse their home. There's not really another way for them to leave that area if they're going north. So again, I'm not opposed to the development. I think it's a great use for, it sounds like a neighborhood that maybe needs some revitalization. I just oppose the density at its current rate. I think adding 122 lots and up to 150 units is a little much at this present time. I would like to see less homes. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. Those are all of the speaker cards we have. So we're going to close this public hearing and bring the bill back to our committee. Got a motion and a second on the bill. No one in the queue. Let's open the ballot, record your vote. Oh, hold on, let me just take it off. I voted on the wrong machine. Okay, that should fix it.
4 yeas, 0 nays.
By your action, you've approved 2026-0438. Wouldn't want to record that I missed a vote. I might go to the principal's office for my attendance. So we'll move on to item number 28, 2026-0439. Council members, any ex parte that you'd like to claim? I'll open up. I had Cindy Trimmer in my office yesterday. Obviously, we talked about 4 or 5 of these zonings from Driver McAfee. So we talked about this one. This is the Chetts Creek, the church changes over there. So we went over the site plan and what was going on and some of the community rumors that have been addressed and corrected. So that is my ex parte. We'll get it filed with Legislative Services And we'll turn it over to the Godfather. Mr. White, you're recognized.
Thank you. I declare ex parte also. I had the conversations with Ms. Trimmer on this was one of the 5 we talked about. Thank you.
No one else in the queue, so we'll go ahead and open the public hearing and get a staff report.
Thank you. This is PUD rezoning ordinance 2026-0439, seeking to rezone 10.5 acres located along Hodges Boulevard. They are rezoning from RMDA to a PUD. The property is developed with the Church of Chet's Creek, and the applicant is seeking the PUD to increase the size of the permitted monument sign and wall signage to better reflect the scale of the existing church campus and improve visibility from Hodges Boulevard. The PUD generally retains the existing RMDA development standards while incorporating site-specific signage, landscaping, and then also some permitted uses that are in connection with the church. Staff evaluated the request for consistency with the comp plan and found the proposal to be consistent with the MDR land use designation. Staff also determined that the proposal is compatible with surrounding development patterns. The site is surrounded by institutional and residential uses, including another church to the north, multifamily residential developments to the east and south, and then you have the Checks Creek Elementary School to the west. The only substantive change is the addition of the signage and then uses ancillary to the church, both of which are appropriate to the institutional campus and surrounding area. So for these reasons and those in the staff report, we forward a recommendation of approval. Item was heard by Planning Commission June 18th. No speakers in opposition, little discussion, and they voted unanimously for approval.
All right, thank you for that report. Let's go to our speaker cards. We have one. Miss Cindy Trimmer, you're recognized.
Thank you. Cindy Trimmer, 1 Independent Drive, Suite 1200 on behalf of the applicant. This is the Hodges campus of the church at Chet's Creek. The PUD is to grandfather certain site conditions, primarily landscaping that we see all the time with existing as-built, to ensure that they can do the uses that are ancillary that serve the community like daycare, schools, community centers, and then also to allow for branding on the facade that faces Hodges. If you've ever gone by, there's a large blank wall, and this will allow for a signage on that is appropriate for the scale of the building. That is the only overtly different thing for anybody driving by any day. You'll see a sign on the building. So with that, I will stand by for questions.
All right, no one in the queue. That is our last speaker. We'll go ahead and close this public hearing and bring it back to committee. Got a motion and second on the bill. No one's in the queue. Please open the ballot and record your vote. Oh,
4 yeas, 0 nays.
By your action, you've approved 2026-0439. All right, item 29, 2026-0475 is deferred till 8/4/26. The following items are all deferred until 8/4/26. 2026-0476, 0477, 0478, 0479, 0480, 0481, 0482, 0483, 0484, 0485, bringing us to item 40, 2026-0486. Please declare any ex parte communication you might have. Seeing none, let's open the public hearing and get a staff report.
Thank you. 2026-486 seeks a zoning exception to permit the on-premise consumption of all alcoholic beverages in the CCG1 zoning district. The alcohol use will be granted to Baron Cafe, a restaurant and hookah lounge operating out of units 102 and 103. The subject property is a 3.78 acre lot developed in 2006 as the Shops at East Point Landing Shopping Center, located on St. John's Bluff Road South, approximately a quarter mile south of Beach Boulevard. A previous tenant of these units, C. Senor Fresh Mex, was granted a zoning exception for alcohol sales in 2017 under E1743. The alcohol use will occur entirely indoors with no outside sales or service. Staff finds the request consistent with the comprehensive plan, compatible with the surrounding commercial corridor, and forwards a recommendation of approval.
Thank you for that. We have one speaker card, Mr. Stephen Richardson.
Good evening. Stephen Richardson, law offices of Michael R. Yocan, LLNE. I represent Mr. Ahmad with the Baran Cafe. Here to answer any questions or concerns that you guys might have. Mr. Ahmad, he opened his restaurant in April. As you see by the pictures, he's put in quite the expense. And so we are here to ask for the consumption of liquor on premises so that way he can compete with other establishments that are on or very near his establishment. I put in there, you have the photos, the menu, and some details about Mr. Ahmad. He served with our service members in Afghan as an interpreter and as a soldier, and he's been in the States for, how long you been in the States? 12 years. So that's just, if you guys have any questions, or we appreciate your consideration.
All right, thank you. We have a member in the queue for a question. Councilmember Gaffney, you recognize?
Thank you through the chair. Thank you through the chair. I didn't get your name.
Stephen Richardson.
Stephen, I'm sorry about that. Did you get a chance to reach out to the council person over this district? Did you? No. Did you get a chance to reach out to the council person over this district in reference to this?
District 4?
Yes, sir.
I did not. Our office did try calling multiple times. We had different meetings with the planning.
Yeah, no, okay, and I understand, and I appreciate you for reaching out. I just think it would be wise anytime you're trying to get an exception for alcohol, and you do got a great establishment. I'm just not aware of any schools around this district.
The survey, we blow the distance away. We're not anywhere near a church or a school.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that what I'm voting on is no schools, is no,
I would have brought the surveys, but normally, because we do quite a few of these, normally the packet, you guys already have the survey and everything that we turn in to the planning department.
Okay, but yeah, so what I said, so pretty much I'm just, next time when you guys come before council, just make sure, and I know you say you reached out, but make sure you be consistent and persistent in terms of reaching a council person for that district. So
we normally do if it's a package store or if it's a nightclub. If it's a restaurant that already had the exception for liquor, the only reason why, why it didn't get transferred, because obviously you can't transfer an exception from one party to another. But for a restaurant, we normally don't bother the council.
Okay. So,
for the district.
I'm not sure if I want to move forward, after hearing those answers. So I'll wait until I hear the rest of my colleagues and see what they have to say. I want to be respectful for the person over this district, to the council person over this district before we move forward. All right, thank you.
All right, thank you, Councilmember Gaffney. And we have Past President Carrico. You're recognized. I think we're all waiting to hear from you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I am the past president, yes, but I'm also the council member for District 4.
Yes.
So can you clear for the record, did you call my office or did you not call my office?
My office manager called back in, I think, early May.
Okay. Did they leave a message? Because my assistant is right here, and she doesn't miss a day
Rachel,
or a call.
She said she left a message, but after meeting with the planning department, they said that they were recommended moving forward, so we didn't bother reaching out to you.
It's not a bother. It's a sign of protocol and sign of respect. I represent the district. I have meetings with neighborhoods all up and down Southside Boulevard. They have concerns about all kind of things, and it's not just a simple transfer. You're doing a whole other concept.
Well, no,
there.
we're not doing the transfer. I'm saying you can't transfer an exception.
Right. So you're just assuming that because it was a restaurant and another restaurant is coming, that's going to be fine. Like, you should make those assumptions because every restaurant is different. So the council person, you keep talking over me. I would appreciate if you let me speak.
I wasn't saying anything, sir.
Okay, so protocol, reach out to the district council person. I'd like to visit the site. I'd like to meet the owner. I'd like to see what's going on, what my community is going to have in there so I can answer to them, because that's my role as the elected. I answer to the community. So due to the fact that you did not reach out, this is just coming to my desk. I would request for a deferral, and I'd love my assistant could come down and speak with you guys and the owner. We'll get a tour set up. I'll come out there. We'll check it out, and so just a one-cycle deferral is my request, Mr. Chairman.
All right, your request is granted. We're going to go ahead and defer this for one cycle until 8/4. Do we need to open the public hearing and continue it? Okay, so we're going to open the public hearing, and we're going to continue this public hearing until 8/4/26. Wow. All right.
I heard that. You want to know the green room?
Sorry?
Would you like to speak now, or do you want to wait till I come out to the restaurant?
What are you saying?
Go ahead and get it.
We'll wait.
Yeah, we'll wait.
I didn't hear what
I think he was just a little shocked by your response of wow, and that we just, it just seemed disrespectful.
Oh, but
So,
was it even,
that's what he
I
was
have
commenting
no
on.
problem about the August 4th. That has nothing to do with you. So I don't
Okay.
understand.
Okay, good. We'll continue this public hearing until 8/4/26, and then we will go ahead to item number 41, 2026-487. Council members, please declare your ex parte communication at this time. Seeing none. So let's open the public hearing and get a staff report.
Thank you. Ordinance 2026-487 is a waiver of road frontage that seeks to reduce the required minimum road frontage from 240 feet to hold on, sorry, this is, from 240 feet to 0 feet to allow for the development of a third single-family dwelling in the RR Acre zoning district. The subject property is a 3.42 acre lot located along Gervin Road, currently developed with 2 legally non-conforming single-family dwellings, as well as several accessory structures. The 780 square foot home, which is the furthest west on the property, was built in 1970, and the 2,280 square foot home on the eastern portion of the site was a replacement of an existing mobile home in 2013. The applicant seeks to add a third home to the property and bring existing non-conforming structures into compliance through a companion administrative deviation, 2026-488, which will be heard next. Staff finds that there are no practical difficulties in meeting the strict letter of the code, as the property already exceeds allowed density with 2 non-conforming homes. Approval would expand a non-conforming use and alter the character of the surrounding area. Staff finds the request inconsistent with the zoning code standards and forwards a recommendation of denial.
All right, thank you so much. Ms. Kirko, are you on this or are you on the? Yeah. Okay, well, we're in the public hearing. Did you want to make a comment now or? No. Okay, we'll close the public hearing and bring it back to committee. Motion and a second, but we don't.
Right, we have a motion and a second. We have a staff recommendation of denial, and Mr. Kaplan, the applicant, is not here, so we don't have a card. I just wanted the
applicant is not here. Mr. Kaplan? Okay. Oh,
okay. We don't have a card.
Are you Miss Kaplan? Or the? Oh, okay. The representative for the applicant is here.
Okay.
Would you like her to come down and speak to it?
Yes, we do have a recommendation of denial here, and so I figured they should come down and speak to that.
Yeah. So, ma'am, if you can, we'll go ahead and let you speak, and then Ms. Rebecca here will get you a card to fill out, but ultimately, we just would like to hear, your case for why we should approve this when the planning department has given a denial.
My name is Barbara Erzinger. I believe my address is on file. Which one would be denied? The road frontage or the deviation?
The waiver, we're on the waiver of minimum road frontage right now, which has a planning department recommendation of denial.
May I ask why?
They already stated, I think, the reasons why in the initial opening statement. Would you like to rehear them, or?
Yes,
I mean,
please.
really, well, honestly, I think we just need to know why you need it. That's what we're trying to base our decision on.
The customer has allotted the 1 acre, a little over, I think, an acre parcel for his granddaughter for their. I apologize, my head is really clogged. So they can move on the parcel with the grandfather. And that's why we were applying for the road frontage deviation, or the road frontage waiver, to put another home out there.
Yeah, is it a small accessory dwelling unit?
No, sir, it's a mobile home.
Mobile home? Okay. Right, let's see. Who do we have? All right, is there any other questions? Okay, Councilman Gaffney, you're recognized.
Thank you through the chair. To the planning department, it went over my head. Why did you guys deny it again? So for clarity.
I apologize.
Through the chair to Councilman Gaffney. So the property already has 2 existing single-family homes, legally non-conforming because the homes that are currently there, the lot doesn't meet the requirements for the 2 single-family homes that are on there. But they're there so they can continue. The request is to add now a 3rd single-family home on the property, which kind of gets into subdivision regulations, and they are asking to deviate from the requirements of the code in order to expand a legally non-conforming use of the property to add additional homes onto the site. So because of those reasons, we're not supportive of expanding to add additional homes on the site. That doesn't meet code today.
Yeah, thank you. Through the chair, I would either move to deny or either move to defer until we hear from the council person come to LUZ and speak on this. I would hate to make I'm not in a position to approve this tonight, with the planning department saying no, and I haven't heard from the council person over this district. So I will either move to deny or wait to move to defer. But I'll listen to the rest of you guys and see what you guys suggest and recommend. Okay.
Yeah, I had a question for you, ma'am. What was your first name?
Barbara.
Barbara. Okay, I was going to say Barbara, but did you reach out to Councilmember Lanin?
I did not. I didn't realize I needed to.
Okay, no problem. Councilmember Johnson, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My question is more for the planning department. Ms. Abney, you said kind of, and this is a science when you said it kind of leads toward a subdivision. Can you unpack that for me?
Through the chair to Councilman Johnson. So when you subdivide a parcel more than one time, so 2 or more lots that you're creating, you trip subdivision. So you are creating a subdivision. In this case, they're not subdividing the lot, but they are putting 3 homes on the property. So it is, in a sense, a subdivision because you are 3 homes on a piece of parcel. But in this case, they're not subdividing it, and they're not meeting the required road frontage. They're not meeting the required lot width. And then under the AD, they do have, and this will be covered under the companion AD, but they do have several accessory structures with no permits, and they don't meet setback regulations. So when we're looking at the site, it's already not compliant with code, and they're wanting to continue to expand upon that nonconformity.
I get that, but if it's there already, while I do appreciate that through the chair, I don't think that's fair if it was already grandfathered in for us to bring it up in this context. So the question is...
Through the chair to Councilman Johnson, we have no concerns about the 2 homes that are there.
Right, but you mentioned it. That's why I had to say that. So let's go back, though. Through the chair, you also said, and I don't have my book with me, so forgive me, this is not one of the ones I dug into pretty deep. What's the actual acreage of that parcel?
The property, through the chair to Councilman Johnson, so the property is 3.4 acres in size.
And with the current zoning?
Current zoning is RR acre, which does require 1 acre per dwelling. In this case, they don't meet the required road frontage and lot width. So those are what's being asked.
They don't meet the road frontage, but if it's RR acre and it's 1 unit per acre, and then there would be 3 units, wouldn't the road frontage be the only? Because I think we're kind of conflating the issue, bringing up the other units if they're already there.
So yeah, you still have to get approval for the road frontage that they don't meet, and then the lot width.
Right, no, I get that. I just think, because when we brought it up, when you said it during that, it kind of made it seem like it was a larger issue, when actually the issue is just the road frontage. But okay, I got it. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, good questions there. And Councilman Carrico, do you want to speak? All right, you're recognized.
Sure, yeah, I would probably give a chance for the district councilman to weigh in on paper. There's always an exception, right? I had something in my district come along where on paper it looked bad, and it was denied by the planning department. But when I went out to the property, when I met the people, we were able to basically unite two brothers that have been apart due to military service, and they got 2 houses built on a lot. And yeah, the planning department didn't like it, but it ended up being good. And I don't know that that's the case here or not, but I think it's the district council person who needs to go check it out. So I hate to deny this, because without any input from him, I would definitely probably vote for denial, but I don't think that's fair, being that he hasn't had to weigh in and we're just trying to unite some families. It's 3 acres. If it was an acre lot, you know, I would be like, I don't think so. So I'd ask maybe for a deferral on this one, and I hate deferrals.
I know. I mean, for me, looking at the lot, it is the reason there's a problem with the road frontage is because the lot is like super skinny and rectangular, and we just had one in my neighborhood where it was 1 acre, and they wanted to put 3 homes on there, and they had the same issue with the waiver of road frontage. So honestly, they could probably put this mobile home there, no one would even know, because it's such a long piece of property. So my gut's telling me that, like you said, Past President Carrico, on paper, yeah, it's you kind of got to go by the, you know, you don't really get to look at the shape of the lot, so to speak. You got to just go by what the lengths are and the widths are. But honestly, I don't have any heartburn over it, just knowing what I'm looking at right here. I do think it's fair to let Councilmember Lanin weigh in on it. And since you didn't reach out to his office yet, I do think we owe it to him, you owe it to him.
Sure.
So we'll make sure that you get his contact information. Can someone make sure, Miss Barbara? All right, my ECA George Foote will make sure you have Councilmember Lanin's contact information. If you'll just reach out to his office and let him know what we're looking at and talking about here, and we'll go from there.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, yes, ma'am. So we're going to go ahead and this one, open the public hearing and continue the public hearing until 8/4/26. And then on item 42, 2026-488, we will open the public hearing. We will not have any speaker cards because there are none, and we will continue this public hearing as well until 8/4/26. All righty, so the rest of the bills are on second reading. 2026, 523, 524, 525, 526, 527, 528, 529, 530, 531, 532, 533, 534, and 544. Mr. Harvey, what did I miss?
Yes, you tabled the item when you went to the green room, so that was item number 26.
Yep.
So
item number 20, that's 26?
Yes, 2026-437.
Okay, item number 26, 2026-437. We're going to open the public hearing and continue the public hearing until 8/4/26. Thank you for reminding me and bringing me back to that. With that, we have no other items on the agenda, no other items of business. Welcome back, LUZ committee. We're down 2 folks tonight, but hopefully they get back in here. We've got some fun stuff coming on 8/4. With that, this meeting's adjourned.